Hi everyone, I'm Tam, and we're back with another Why I Think It Is. To be right is human. When we look at our history, as in the kind of political, the way we kind of treat each other throughout history, it feels like a game of like a ping pong. Sorry, it feels like a game of ping pong, where you kind of like move the ball back and forth between who's right and who's wrong. I guess he's more right, so let's go with him compared to this dude. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, look, something's not working out. Oh, that guy seems to be more right now, so let's go with him instead. For example, after World War One, Germany was destroyed. Like it was kind of just like kind of flattened, destroyed. People were suffering everywhere. Like it's probably on par or even worse than I guess the Great Depression. So a lot of people were kind of like desperate, and then Hitler kind of took advantage of the situation, like this kind of suffering, mass fear, and to the from the perspective of the people in that time, this guy is starting to make a lot of sense because the situation doesn't seem to be getting better. Who else is going to help us out? This guy seems to be doing like at least something like he's trying to like I guess pull everything together. So I guess we'll just kind of go with him. Whether or not they kind of knew exactly what this guy was all about, it is something else, but different question. But during times of like a hardship or something like that, like those type of people make a lot of sense. If this was like the dot com era where like dot coms were like taking off, I guess perceived wealth was easy to obtain. Hitler would not rise to power, like because who would need him? Yeah, like everyone else can kind of like fend for themselves. Like who would need this guy? This dude would not be needed, or I guess perceived to be valuable or desirable as a leadership figure during times of wealth because we're doing good, man. Thanks for your speech, but we're doing good now. So right or wrong is kind of contextualized for that set of conditions, circumstances that you're currently in. And once you kind of move past it, like from hard times to good times, that may not apply, and you probably will kind of hurt yourself and other people, pretty much. For example, gun laws, probably were created during times of I guess high crime, high robbery, like the kind of wild west mentality, where you kind of have to kind of defend yourself because the law isn't really in place, or if it is in place, it's kind of corrupt and so on. So to give people a chance to I guess defend themselves against cowboys, etc. That's probably where it came from. Or I guess a kind of an invasion from a different colony, because the 13 colonies were kind of small to start with, so they probably couldn't manage everything inside, and also create a militia to fight off the kind of outside forces like Britain and so on. So it kind of makes sense to just keep people like okay, you all can have guns. Like just kind of just work it out yourself. We're still trying to build the United States. Like just work it out yourself. So it kind of makes sense during that time to kind of propose that and kind of enact it as a law. However, like in modern society, it doesn't really jive anymore. Like you don't really need that. We have pretty good ways to handle civil disputes between two different civilians. So having access to a gun no longer kind of makes sense, and it's probably way more dangerous, given the kind of like rise of social media, where like somebody within 1 hour can see a lot of like darkness in humanity, and then they may try to do something to kind of I guess feel judged, to kind of like right that wrong. So we're kind of like back in that kind of like darkness, hard times. So similarly, like policies and like laws and so say same thing in good times doesn't really apply to hard times either. So there you go. The kind of ping pong between hard times and good times, right or wrong. The kind of ping pong throughout humanity that we kind of like do to each other. Like he's more right. Let's just follow him now. He is more right. So let's just follow him now. Because before he probably wasn't right, and after this, whatever this is, circumstance wise, he probably won't be right anymore. However, for the moment, he seems to be the I guess the most appropriate leadership figure. So let's just kind of go with this dude and see how it kind of goes because nothing really seems to be getting any better, and we don't really seem to be getting help and so on. So it's kind of what it is. I guess you can like see it has a kind of survival instinct. This guy makes the most sense right now. Everyone else is like massively suffering in like fear. With it feels like a fear or like a or like a fight or flight moment, like a fear moment. So let's just follow this dude because he seems to have a kind of clear head around the situation and to move us from a place of desperation. Perhaps our crops is destroyed in this area, so this guy probably knows how to find a new area of pasture to plant crops in and so on. So let's just kind of follow this dude. And it's kind of how it is, um, and yeah, it's just for that kind of moment you kind of realize it kind of makes a lot of sense. Moving past that, it's just kind of like asking for that suffering. Um, Technology moves in one direction, like from stones to from working with stone tools to metals, like creating armor for nice swords, to creating to computer chips. It's just one direction because the kind of viewpoint, the kind of like framework that the people involved in technology are approaching this with is to understand what this actually is and kind of build on top of that. The deeper your level of understanding, the more you can kind of I guess exploit it. Kind of do whatever you kind of want with it. For example, nuclear physics. With that, we can possibly create nuclear fusion reactors that can provide us a lot of energy and not really have to farm sunlight, which is not really 100% renewable, and so on. So the more the more we kind of deepen our understanding, the more freedom we have from devices of like being right or wrong,